people care. Next story, we got to talk about this guy every day, Colin. Your favorite rookie quarterback, Bo Nix.
Bo Nix, Denver.
And Sean Payton. Oh, my goodness. What a streak they're on. Winners of 5 of their last 6. Bo Nix was named NFL Offensive Rookie of the Month.
Of the month.
Put that on the fridge at home, baby. That is exciting. Sean Payton went out on a limb after moving off Russell Wilson to get Nix. The rookie quarterback talked about his relationship with Payton.
Every week I give him the calls that I like, and he goes from there. He calls it how he sees it with the thought in the back of his mind. He knows what I like. Always finding ways to get better, working together as play caller, and I'm also a rookie, so there's a time to where I don't have much say, and there's not much I have to offer in that regard, but I can just go out there and call whatever or run whatever he calls and just try to make it work.
Yep, I think it's a pretty special relationship, my man.
Well, the staff knows you like Bo Nix, so we got a nice little graphic here about Bo Nix in October, how he fared among other rookie quarterbacks. I mean, if you want to guess, it's pretty damn good.
October.
First in completion percentage, passing yards, TD interception ratio, second in passer rating.
Sean Payton assured me when we spoke confidentially that this kid, before Thanksgiving, you'd start seeing the future.
Yeah.
I have it sourced. I'm not going to tell you who the source is, but SP are the initials.
Yeah, I love when somebody does a victory lap at like mile 23 of the marathon, which is what you're doing now. We'll see. Maybe
Mile
they get
8,
smacked back down to earth here. But
I think, listen, if you're Denver, you've been looking for that. You had to go buy. You fell in love with Tebow. You love Peyton, but he was older. This feels like Peyton, Nix together. I mean, maybe each one individually you don't, but together it feels like the right fit.
They'll be an interesting offseason team because, remember they had all that dead cap money with Russell Wilson.
They still have some of it next year.
They do have some of it next year, but they'll have an opportunity to go out and get some more help for Bo Nix. Maybe, I don't think Cortland Sutton's a 1. He's good, but he's not a 1.
Well, if not, he's the best 2 in the league. It's like Michael Pittman. If he's not a 1, he's a great 2.
Yeah, there's a decent crop of wide receivers in college football. I wonder if Denver targets one because the defense is in good shape. Offensive line could use some work as well.
Yeah, I think they'll go get another corner, and I think they'll continue to shore up their O-line. That's my guess.
Okay. Broncos arrow pointing up. Final story.
All right. Let's talk about this. Bo Nix, you guys know that I think Bo Nix is going to be great. And Colin Cowherd dropping the bombshell. By Thanksgiving, you will see the future. Now, I can't emphasize this enough. Sean Payton is not just saying that for the sake of saying that. Sean Payton wants to be right. Sean Payton, like most people, but especially someone like him in the position that he's in, talking to other people like Colin, who's obviously not in the NFL, not a coach, not a player, whatever it may be, wants to be right. He's not saying that just for the sake of saying it, trying to speak it into existence, trying to just talk with Colin and have something to talk about. He's saying it because he really believes it. And if he really believes it, he wants it to be accurate. It's okay for the media to be wrong all the time. Stephen A. Smith, Colin Cowherd, Nick Wright, whatever, right? They get paid in a lot of ways to accept being wrong publicly, right? I could make so much more different content if I was okay being wrong. I don't like to be wrong, and I don't mind being wrong, right? I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong or having issues wrong, but I'm not the type of person that comes in and makes predictions. I'm very anti-predictions. I always talk about this. I much rather talk about post-game rather than pre-game. And of course, sometimes it's just impossible when you're talking about content. You're going to have to make some predictions. Like I did predict that I think Bo Nix was going to be a great player in the NFL. But at the same time, I can make so much more content and actually get a ton of views if I was more okay with creating content that I knew I was going to be wrong at a high volume. Because it's impossible to be accurate at a high volume. You just can't. Like I always say, you would be a billionaire sports bettor, right? If I could come out here and say, the Broncos are going to smoke the Ravens. If I could say all those things and and actually be accurate more often than not, I'd make bank. I'd make absolute bank, right? I would be moved to Vegas and I would just be a billionaire. So would any of these other people. Colin's wrong plenty, Nick's wrong brew, all of them. Stephen A, they're all. And they know it. They know it, right? And Colin at least will admit it and be like, what do you want me to do? I'm not going to be able to get everything right. While there are other people that try to sell themselves in the media that I'm always right, and then they try to hide when they're wrong. But I could create content all day and just make these predictions. The Broncos and Bo Nix are going to smoke the Ravens, right? And Broncos fans would love it. They'd be all about it. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, let's go. And then if I'm wrong, it still brings attention because then the Ravens fans jump on me and say, yeah, what happened? I'm not into that. It's truly not what I'm into, right? I'm into just having like honest, accurate discussions, right? Trying to figure out what's the more likelihood of something happening, what are the various outcomes that could happen, and just discussing it as a whole, right? Always trying to look at it from a whole 360 degrees. But that's not what Sean Payton is, right? If he's making this statement to Colin, he doesn't want to be wrong, because he would look silly then. If he goes to Colin and says, Bo Nix is the future, and then Bo Nix isn't, Colin's going to be like, hey, what happened there? Like, it's just human nature, right? Then Sean Payton's going to be like, feel dumb. It's just going to be a weird situation. He's not a media member. So when you hear that Sean Payton is saying this to Colin Cowherd, it's because of a true belief that Bo Nix is for real. That Bo Nix is the guy. And if you remember, and I'm sure a lot of Broncos fans remember this, when he first got drafted, right, there was whispers that it was like that the Broncos love Bo Nix, that Sean Payton feels the way he does about Bo Nix, that he felt about Mahomes and all of this. And then there was a lot of people that were like, why did the Broncos draft Bo Nix? It was a reach. Sean Payton doesn't look happy. They showed him in, when he was, in the room when they were drafting and stuff like that. And they did everyone became a body language expert. And they were like, that doesn't really look like someone who's excited that they got their Mahomes or whatever. And it was this whole like kind of messy conversation about it. But now as the weeks went on, the months went on, again, Sean Payton's reputation is on the line at this point. If he's wrong, he's going to look dumb. He's going to look silly. He's going to look like that he doesn't really know what's going on. And again, of course, Sean Payton can be wrong. Not every coach or even elite expert in the game is going to have 100% accuracy. But when you're making bold statements, right? If Sean Payton didn't really feel that way, he would say, I think there's a great chance that Bo Nix can be a great player. Listen, Colin, you don't really ever know. It's hard to say. I think this kid has a ton to really like. I love his legs, his accuracy, his blah, 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 his anticipation, his brains, this, that, and the third, the way he reads defenses, progressions. But you don't know, you don't know. We got to wait and see. There's a couple issues that I'm kind of looking at that I don't know if we're going to be able to overcome them. If we can, he's going to be great. If we can't, he'll probably just be kind of an average quarterback, and we'll have to see what we can do about that, right? But he's not saying those things, and that level of assessment would be like totally fair to give. So the fact that he is pounding his chest and planting his feet and saying, Bo Nix, you're gonna see the future by Thanksgiving, that's big time. I can't emphasize that enough. And so listen, if you believe in Sean Payton, which I know some people don't. Some people really hate Sean Payton. It seems like non-Denver Broncos fans seem to really not like him. Maybe Russell Wilson fans, I don't know. But if you believe that Sean Payton knows what he's talking about, knows what he's doing, then you're going to believe that Bo Nix is going to be for real. Now, if Sean Payton proves to not know what he's doing, and he's proved to not be a great quarterback and was carried by Drew Brees or whatever, well, then the Denver Broncos may be in trouble. But I don't think that's going to be true. I think the Broncos are finally back on the path to being the Denver Broncos, right? The team that you could be proud to say, I am a Denver Broncos fan. We can compete for a division. When we beat the Kansas City Chiefs, it's not a fluke. It's because we are the better team. We are fighting for a top seed in the playoffs. We are fighting for home field advantage. We can get to a Super Bowl, an AFC championship game, right? Like, that is the path that they're on. And if Bo Nix really does prove to be the future, well, then I got news for you. The future is today and not tomorrow. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Bo Nix? Right? Being named the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Month. Sean Payton saying that he's the future, and Colin Cowherd obviously believing it as well. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, Let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.